Hi everybody, it's Deborah Morgan with Kids Health Revolution, coming back to you from the headquarters of the Kids Health Revolution, the kitchen, right? I'm always talking about how this is the place that we cook up all the goodness, all the stuff that is going to build that strong, healthy foundation for our kids' health and build up that strong, good, healthy gut and gut flora. I feel like I'm doing the Activia yogurt commercial right now. Anyway, what we do in here is absolutely powerful stuff when it comes to helping our kids improve chronic health conditions. So if your kiddo has a chronic health condition and you're trying to make changes and you're a bit at a loss about what to do, that's what this show is all about. Quick, easy things you can do, fun recipes that most kids will eat, and things that are simple, that aren't going to take us a ton of time, right? Because if it's too complicated and too time consuming, it gets too stressful for us, and A, we don't end up doing it, and B, a stressful environment isn't exactly a healthy environment either, is it? So we have to find this balance between health and, stress and life and all of that stuff. So simple, easy recipes that are going to support gut health, support what you're trying to do in improving your child's chronic health condition, or even just that preventative side of it, right? Maybe you don't have a kid with a chronic health condition, but you want to make sure that they don't get one at any point in their life. So you want to make sure you're giving them the best possible start that you can. So you're in the right place, and today we are whipping up another great, super easy recipe full of nutrient density and stuff that your kids are going to thrive on. So this one is a bacon wrapped plantain bite, and they're super yummy, these little guys. Hey Jennifer, thanks for tuning in. Now, plantains are not GAPS approved. They are paleo, but they're not GAPS approved. So I'm gonna give you a couple of suggestions if you're on the GAPS diet and you wanna try this out. If you are transitioning into full GAPS, or you're moving on from the GAPS diet and you're ready to go like with a nutrient-dense paleo diet, then plantain is something you could consider bringing into your diet. The nice thing about plantains is they are really nice and high in fiber, and especially if we cool them when we eat them. So if you cook them and then cool them, they've got a lot of prebiotic fiber in them. And the prebiotic fiber is what we want to have around when we're trying to get our gut bugs to stick around, the good guys to stick around, right? So this is how, after you've done a GAPS diet, for example, you've cleaned out all the dysbiosis, you've gotten rid of a lot of the bad guys that are lurking around in there, and now you want to make sure that all the beneficial bacteria you're starting to put back in there has a nice, happy home, a place that they want to hang out and have all the good health benefits for us. So prebiotic fiber becomes important, and plantains are a really yummy way of getting those prebiotic fibers. They're a little bit more starchy than regular bananas, and that's why we don't eat them for a while in the GAPS diet. And these are always eaten cooked. We don't eat plantains raw because of the fiber in them. So this recipe then is full of really good fiber for your kiddos. A good source of dense or nutrient-dense carbohydrate. And what I do with this recipe is I just cut my plantain in half, and then in half again. Everybody can see that, yes? And then I just make it another half, so I've got little quarters here. Okay, I'm not going to do it with both sides right now. So we've got the plantain, that's what we're wrapping, is these little plantain swords. And then I've got strips of bacon here. Now, what I'm using here is a little different from what I normally use, but I did find this product at Planet Organic the other day. It's a paleo bacon, it's uncured, so it doesn't have any sugars added to it. No gluten, no soy, no corn, none of that additive stuff in here. It's just salt. What's in here? Salt, vinegar. It does have citric extract, so like a citric acid in it. Pomegranate extract and rosemary extract. So pretty good if you're looking for a decent bacon that doesn't have all of the inflammatory stuff in it. This is a decent option. Now, with a wee caveat. if you have a child who happens to be histamine sensitive, you want to be careful even with these types of packaged bacon. Now this is May 7th. This one is good till, so it isn't as it's not cured, so it doesn't last as long just on the shelf or in the fridge as a regular bacon would, as a cured meat, and therefore has less histamine than your traditional bacon would. This, however, I think was still a little too high histamine for my kiddo. What I usually do is I buy my pork and my bacon direct from my farmer. So if you happen to be lucky enough that you live in Alberta, I highly recommend getting your pork from Cohen Farms. That's C-O-E-N, Cohen Farms. He has wonderful milk-fed pork. It's the best pork I've ever tasted in my life. And you can get uncured bacon from him as well. So it has nothing. It's basically just the side of pork, the pork belly, sliced into strips. And so you can add your own salt to it and whatever sort of flavors you want. And that way, you know that you're getting sort of the bacon shape and a bit of the bacon flavor when you add in your own spices and stuff without any of the histamine. So that's what I would usually use for this, but I've already used all my bacon from my last purchase, so I didn't have any. So I thought I'd give this a try, and I gave it to my kiddo, and we had a bit of a flare last night, so I'm not sure if it was this or something else, but I'm not gonna give this to him again today, just in case it was that. So that's something to watch out for. If your kiddo does have any neurological symptoms or eczema or asthma, and you give them a food that is higher in histamine, something like a cured meat or aged cheese or fermented foods, and you notice a flare-up in their symptoms, then you might need to think about histamine intolerance. Just meaning that their histamine bucket's a bit full, and we just have to, take care with that for a little while. So I usually slice my bacon slice in half because these ones are quite long, and then I just kind of wrap it around there. Now I've seen pictures of people that do this and they put a toothpick in it. I haven't found it necessary. Now I've touched that bacon. Hang on one sec, because we need to get a little parchment paper going on here. So I do parchment paper on a cookie sheet. It's how I like the cookies. I find it crisps up the bacon better. And I actually like to put 2 sheets of parchment paper down on my cookie sheet. I just feel like it gives maybe a little bit more protection from the aluminum in the cookie sheet, because aluminum is a neurotoxin. So there's my cookie sheet. I don't know if everybody can see that or not, but so we'll just lay those out like so. So now bacon, of course, has always gotten a bad rap. Well, has recently. It's coming back into favor a little bit now that we know that saturated fats really aren't the enemy that we thought they were. So when you're getting a good quality bacon without all of the additives and preservatives and gluten and sugar and all of the stuff that goes with it, this is a pretty decent healthy snack. We're getting in, again, the fiber from the plantain, and then we get protein from the bacon, and we also get a good dose of saturated fat with the bacon. And saturated fat of any kind, helps keep us full, right? So it's gonna fuel your kids, fill them up and fuel them for hours, this snack, because it's got everything we need in there. One of my hairs on there. And we know that our bodies need saturated fat, right? Our brain needs cholesterol. 60% of our brain is fat. So we do not need to be so afraid or fat phobic as our culture has become. And including these fats in our diets, these natural fats, so much better for us than the processed industrial seed oils that we are told we're supposed to consume, which are mostly rancid before we even get them into our kitchens. So going with these natural, real, traditional fats, including animal fats, is a much healthier way to go. So that's all you do. It's really simple. So you could do that with a few plantains, and you can see them there on the cookie sheet, and I just throw those into the oven at 400 degrees, and I cook them for about 10 minutes at 400 degrees, 7 to 10 minutes, and then turn them and cook them a little bit longer, or just until you have that nice crispy kind of bacon, right? You don't want a gushy bacon on these. That wouldn't be so tasty. Now, I said that if you could not do plantains, I'd give you an option. So if you can't do plantains because you're on the GAPS diet, do this with some butternut squash. So take a butternut squash, cut it into strips similar to this. Then I would pre-bake the butternut squash a little bit so that you get it softened slightly, and then wrap it in your bacon and pop it back in the oven to finish cooking. And that's gonna be super yummy as well. You could add herbs and spices to this as well. So a little bit of rosemary on there would be really nice. I've seen recipes, people that do like a little bit of spicy. So if your kids like spicy, putting on a little bit of cayenne pepper or paprika or something like that would be awesome. Use your imagination, guys. Whatever you think would taste good on this, throw it in there. We can't do any of the spices at the moment, so we're doing ours plain. But those would be good things to try. So there you have it, into the oven, 400 degrees, about 20 minutes, or until your bacon's nice and crisp. And when you get them out, they look something like these little guys do. So nice and cute little packages. I didn't put a toothpick on that, and it's holding together quite nicely. You can eat them warm or cold. So if you're packing them in your kids' lunch, they're gonna be cold, right? And they're perfectly tasty. In fact, I think I like them better cold. They've got that nice smoky bacon flavor to them, and a little touch of sweetness from the plantain. Really, really tasty. It's a snack I enjoy. My kiddo gave the thumbs up yesterday. The bacon I used probably wasn't the best for him, but he really enjoyed the taste, so it's got his seal of approval. You could pack a few of those in your kids' lunch, and I think they'd be pretty happy to take that to school and get to use it as their fuel for recess or lunch. Certainly would make a nice little treat for breakfast too. Could use it for that as well. So there you have it. Another quick, really simple 2-ingredient recipe that's going to support gut health, going to support everything you're trying to do for your kids and improving their health. And if you would like to get the copy of this, I should have mentioned it at the beginning, I forgot. If you want a copy of the recipe, make sure that you're part of our private group. So you can join at kidshealthrevolution.com/join the community. There's a little button at the top. All I need is your email address, and then you'll get a copy of the recipe straight to your inbox each week. And you can also get it if you are in our private group. So once you join the community, you'll be invited into the private group on Facebook. And then I also post it in the files section over there. So there's a whole list of all the different recipes we've done in the file section over in our private group. And the private group in and of itself is a great reason to join the community. We have such a wonderful group of parents over there. I just want to give a shout out to everybody. I love the support that's going on over there. Questions and answers and just good stuff. That's exactly what I wanted when I made the community and the group, was for like-minded parents to come together and support each other on this mission of improving our kids' health. And that's what's happening, and I'm so glad to see it. So there you go. That's how you get a copy of the recipe. That's how you get some great support. And I'm going to be posting a recipe, the Gut Healthy Kitchen Basics recipe, shortly on making your own ghee, because ghee is so tasty and good. Such a wonderful way to add healthy fats to our diet, but it's bloody expensive to buy. So it's not hard to make your own. So I've made a quick little demo video on that, and I'll be posting that either tomorrow or the next day. So keep your eye out for that. And next week we'll be back for another episode of the school snack series. I just have a question here. Oh yeah, you're right, Jennifer. It would be a good appetizer. Yeah, it would be awesome. Like if you're having the Super Bowl party or something like that, even just a dinner party, that would make an awesome appetizer. Good idea. I'm going to use that. So there you go, guys. We're all done for today. If you have questions, post them below. I'm happy to scroll through and answer any questions that you might have. And if you liked this, of course, please give it a like and give it a share from the Kids Health Revolution page so that we can spread the word about how easy it is to improve our kids' health using natural means and healthy food. Take care, guys. Bye.